Good morning, everybody, and this is your SP 500 day trade setups for today. So we are battling with a few really important levels, and just a little lesson here. Look at how long this tail is here on that bar. And when was that? That was the 12th of last month. That was at 10 o'clock in the morning bar. That. So you can see how important your tails are, because look what happened yesterday. We had a rejection and then we tried to test it again. So we're going to leave that as a level. I think that's fairly important. We do have an inside bar, but now we've got an engulfing bar. Moving averages haven't crossed over to the downside. They're kind of rolling and pointing to the upside. Oscillators have rolled. They rolled last week, but they're sort of just going into no man's land at the moment. I'm just going to put one more level in here because this is also a critical level that we need to hold, and we did hold it yesterday, which there's actually a buying opportunity off there as well, which we'll get to now. So drilling down to the lower time frames, 3 hour, you can see that level clear as daylight, and you can see how we bounced above it, came back to test it, dropped a little bit below it, but then got going again. One thing that is very much intact is the trend line, and if you put one along the top, it'll give you a channel. Don't like the way the oscillators are at the moment. We have crossed over on the moving averages, and the interesting part here is on the hour. So you can see a clear break yesterday of the 150 EMA right there, and a pullback to retest it, giving you an opportunity to buy into that. So you can see diagonal, we bounced off the bottom of the diagonal. We'll get down to the lower time frame, you'll see exactly entry was there, as I said yesterday, 44.76, and basically targeting this area again, which was 44.93. Just bear in mind we've got 4,500 above us, which is a fairly big round number, so that may actually impact us as well. Oscillators at the moment actually not giving us anything, but the minute we get down to levels we want to be trading, if we just put our 3 levels in, so there, we actually don't even need to put the third one in, but I'm going to put it in anyway. So you can see there are the 3 levels. This one is visible on the 8 hour, which is 44.76. These two aren't, but they're definitely visible on the 15 minute. You can see juicy pin bar right on there. Your entry was up here. Your stop was below that pin bar. That's 55 point stop loss, and that was your target right there, which is 156 points. So that was a 3-to-1 trade. Nothing wrong with it. Oscillators grouped to the downside, still above the 150 EMA, still above the trend line. Classic setup. And we had one attempt here on the 5 minute. Actually, there was a fairly decent setup in the 5 minute here, but that fizzled out. We had to wait for the 15 minute. Anyway, so for today, what we're looking for is a little bit more of the same, to be honest. So we have broken through this level. I'm just going to get the next one in, and we can basically just move our 3 levels up here, because there are your 3 levels, 1, 2, and 3. And I just want to get to the 8 hour, see if that lines up with anything. Not quite anything. And let's just check if we have something on the 3 hour. Really just where price is at the moment, just above those levels. So still an area to watch. I would be concerned with one thing though. This does look like a bit of a flag on the higher time frames, but this is kind of a 50-50 call, because it was a strong move up, pullback and bounce, but this bounce is now starting to look like it's fizzling out. But if we get above 44.93, we should hit 4,500, which is up there. We should pull back and then try and continue. But this move at the moment is looking messy. It is looking like a pullback in a downward move. So if there is a rejection up here, it could trigger a bigger move down, which would basically target this gap here. But that is on the higher time frames. Lower time frames, the trend is up, and we need to be moving with the trend. So I am going to actually put a fourth level in. So there's my zone. So you're looking at something between 44.87 and it would have to be here 44.83. I'm going to delete this one because that would break this low. And if it does that, then there's a higher probability of it just continuing, breaking the trend line, coming back, testing, and then reversing to the downside. We do have a few gaps from yesterday. There's one right there. Okay, and I think if I remember correctly, there's another one somewhere here. There it is there. So there's your other one right there on that red bar. You look at the close of the red bar, and then you look at the next bar's open, it's a slight gap. So there are gaps to the downside, so there could be a magnet to the downside. But for me, this is onwards and upwards right now. We're looking for opportunity in the zone to buy. You're still going to be held up by 44.93 or 94. If we get above that, then we're looking for a base on there. And unfortunately, it's going to be really tight to the next level. 63 points, and that's at 4,500. So break through here, test 4,500, come back, probably test 4,500 twice or even 3 times. So I would be buying where I can, take profit at that level, wait for the pullback, buy again, take profit. Wait again, buy, move stop to entry with anticipation of a break, being third time lucky. Anyway, that's kind of my view for today. It does look like there is a trend reversal here on the hour, and this is turning out to be a rounding bottom, but we have a strong area of potential support here, so it could very well work off here. And lastly, before we go, there is my measured move, and you can see that should target a little bit higher than 4,500. Look to the left. There's a whole lot of interesting potential resistance there at 45.06. Okay, anyway, that's kind of my view. Hope it helps, and we'll catch up with you tomorrow. Cheers for now.